Welcome to another episode of The Butler Did It. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode, and I'm very grateful to be here. Okay, so I haven't done an episode of The Butler Did It in a while, and that's been for a good reason. I plan on coming back and doing this show, another episode of this show, and talking about something way more positive and way more important, frankly. But The Butler Did It is my platform. The Butler Did It is my safe space to talk about things. So I have something to talk about today, and I am going to be talking about your man Ye. For those of you that don't know, I host a sneaker podcast. And by the way, I'm chilling. This was random. The Kanye news came out today. I have been super irritated by people's responses. So I'm not even in the studio. It is like 11 o'clock at night. My wife, my pregnant wife, is upstairs asleep. My studio is in a loft area upstairs in her bedroom. I'm down here in what she calls the diva den. I got rid of her AKA pillows and stuff because, you know, I'm not supposed to be representing that. That's her thing. But I'm in her space right now in the diva den recording. So forgive, the lack of branding and all of the nice stuff I usually have in my studio. The lighting isn't even the same, but I'm here today because I have to talk about this. And like I said before, those of you that don't know, I have a sneaker podcast called One of Those. And I've talked about Kanye on that show, but I don't think that platform is best for the conversation I want to have about Kanye. Like the real conversation I want to have about Kanye. Like I talked about the business of sneakers on there, but I really want to talk about Kanye the man, and honestly less about Kanye the man. And I really want to talk about the people that root for Kanye, the people that support Kanye. I do want to say before I get started, and I don't know how long I'm going to go on this episode. I'm going to go for as long as I can. I want to try to get comfortable. Hope y'all can still see my face. I'm going to try to go for as long as I can. And I also want to say no disrespect to the Kanye fans. I know a couple of you, and I respect you. But I do got to ask, why y'all need Kanye to win so bad? Let's get to it. Okay. Yeah, my question is really, what's so special about Kanye West? All right. For those of you that may not know, Kanye West lost his Adidas deal today. Okay. Kanye West, make sure my mic was still plugged up. Kanye West has been dropped by Adidas, dropped by Gap, dropped by Balenciaga. Good Music, his record label, has been dropped by Def Jam. Aaron Donald and I forgot my boy that played Jason Tatum. Is it Jason Tatum? One of the rappers that plays for the Celtics was under Donda Sports Management. They've left. Kanye West has dropped below billionaire status. It sounds like he lost like $500 million because of this Adidas deal. It's really wild. It's really wild to see how this is sort of spiraled out of control in one day. It does feel like it's happening in one day over one thing, which is essentially him making anti-Semitic comments. That's what Adidas says. They're, dropping him over. The Gap dropped him over just basically just being a jerk and being hard to work with and publicly shaming the company. He's publicly shamed Adidas as well. A couple of weeks ago, Adidas said they were going to kind of, put the partnership on hold and see what's up about it. And that was over him wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt at a fashion show in France or whatever. And, Kanye West is the most polarizing artist of our generation. It seems like every couple of years, Kanye West is saying something that is upsetting people. Mostly it's about black people. And before he was getting into his groove about, with just crapping on black people, it was okay, jumping on stage when Taylor Swift was, receiving her award. Rude and terrible, but I guess that wasn't enough to counsel him. The thing with George Bush doesn't care about black people, just sort of saying controversial things. It seems like it's gotten worse and worse and worse over the years. I'm not here to do a breakdown of Kanye West and his mental health and or his stupidity. I am here to question why we give him so many chances. What's so special about Kanye West? What is it about, dude? I had Panama. Shouts out to Panama Jackson. Works at the Griot, Dear Culture Podcast, formerly of Very Smart Brothers. He was on my show. We talked about it from a sneaker standpoint, and he mentioned that, he was over Kanye. Wrote a great article about it. It basically says you could keep Kanye. That's pretty much the title of it. He's talking about how, because Kanye meant a lot to him musically, right? And sometimes I have to think about that because maybe Kanye didn't mean that much to me musically. Maybe I wasn't a Kanye stan like some people, and I respect that. Like, College Dropout was a phenomenal piece of work. Graduation, a phenomenal piece of work. Twisted Dark, Beautiful Fantasy, whatever it was called, is one of my favorite hip hop albums. Black Fridays, remember that was going on? That was super dope. That was dope. But musically, I don't know if I loved him as much as some of y'all did. And maybe that's what I'm missing, right? Maybe that's why, for me, it's easier for me to say, yo, Kanye, whatever. Like, he's just a dumb dude, in my opinion. He's just a dumb dude that says dumb things. And there's consequences to saying dumb things. But for some of y'all, and I don't say that, when I say y'all, I'm not like going. It's y'all. It's not me. Kanye is like a hero. And so I try to put myself in your shoes. I try to say, what would it feel like for me if one of my heroes just disappointed me on a regular basis? Would I be able to be honest about that? Would I be in denial? Would it be like, a death? Like, how there's like different stages of grief? One of the stages is denial. I guess that's how I would look at it. Like, someone I respect, someone, I'm getting real comfortable, y'all. Someone I love, someone I see as a hero. Would I be able to be honest about that person and what they are now? I mean, this is a lot. And forgive me for trying to gather my thoughts. I honestly felt like I had to just hop on the mic tonight because I'm confused. Over the past couple of months, weeks really, but let's go a couple of months. To me, how he's been treating his business partners, conglomerates or no, and I've talked about this on my other show, I'll say it for y'all. The way he's been treating his business partners has been ugly and disrespectful and completely unprofessional. I'm in a business partnership. I work with the Up On Game Network. I have a podcast that has many chefs in the kitchen in terms of platforms, right? Fox Sports, iHeartRadio, Up On Game Network, On My Feet Network. The Butler did it. All collab to make What Are Those, right? I've talked about this before. If I talked about my business partners the way he talks about his business partners, they would take action. Period. I would not win that fight. So that's one thing. Then there's the whole Candace Owens, right wing agenda, MAGA stuff, getting on Trump's my boy, Tucker Carlson interviews. Okay. We all know what that means. That's dog whistling. We understand who he's trying to talk to. When you get on the Tucker Carlson show and you start talking about Trump's my boy and Trump did that, I thought we was on the same page with Trump. Maybe we not. Okay, it's not enough for you. I'm not even talking about years ago when he was in the Oval Office hugging on Donald Trump like a good old boy. I'm not even talking about when he ran for president. I'm not even talking about slavery as a choice. I'm not even going back that far. I'm talking about this year. Tucker Carlson interview. Sketchy opinions on things. Right? Okay, not enough. Candace Owens, White Lives Matter t-shirts. Maybe that's not enough. Drink Champs interview. George Floyd died from fentanyl. Maybe that's not enough. Drink Champs interview. I could say anti-Semitic, just poison. And I know Adidas won't drop me. These are his words. These are his words. He said things since I'm not even going to get into. This is just the past 2 months. All of that. Are you surprised that a company would say, I don't want to do business with this person. I don't want to be affiliated with this person. Let me just get right to it. I got people on my social timelines talking about y'all not understanding what Kanye doing. Y'all not getting this. Y'all not listening. He figured out a way to get out those contracts. Let's roll with that for a second. Then let's go with that. Let's roll with that for a second. Let's just, maybe you right. Kanye West is so smart. He's 10 steps ahead of everybody on earth. He is the smartest man on the planet. He's the greatest businessman to ever live. He outsmarting everybody. He's so smart and so deep. He done figured out, if I just offend everybody, I'll sell more shit. Let's go with that. Where are you going to distribute the shit from? What's the plan? Show me the plan. If I was invested in Yeezy, I'd be on fire right now. What is the plan? Maybe your man ain't as smart as you want him to be. And the real question is, why do you want him to be so smart? Why do you need him to win this fight no matter what? Where are your fucking morals? Sorry, I'm cussing a lot on this one. This may not even be a good pod. Honestly, I'm just trying to figure some shit out, man. I'm confused. I really am. What is it about Kanye West that you can't let go? What is it about this man that you can't let go? I wonder if it's because if you black and reach this status of billionaire, you get automatic respect. I wonder if it's because you secretly look at a person like Kanye West and envy his recklessness and his freedom. I wonder if it's because you look at a person like that and you're envy and go, if I were in that position, I would cuss everybody out too. Maybe it's the recklessness of it. Maybe it's the idea that Kanye is a bull in a china shop, that he, to you, looks like he's destroying systems. I'm asking genuine questions to people. I know you can't answer me. You can comment, I guess. But I'm asking genuine questions. I'm really trying to work this out because there's people that are disappointing me today. This ain't about like this isn't a community. This isn't a community conversation. This isn't about us. We didn't do anything. This is about Kanye and his business partners. This is about a businessman and business partners deciding not to do business. Period. This isn't about us. This isn't about whether the black community should support. No, this is about a dude who sells sneakers. And I love sneakers. By the way, I'm not marginalizing that. But ultimately, it's about a guy who sells sneakers and clothes and music. Makes music. Losing some business because he is not representing his business partners right. Why are you caping for this? Why? What is this? It's hard to see your hero fall. Nobody wants to be disappointed in somebody that you admire. I understand that. I can see that. The more and more I think about this, I realize that's what it is. You saw someone. I remember when Kanye first came out. I remember it. Just like you. Kanye came out at a time where, and for my youngins that may listen to the show, Kanye West came out at a time where niggas was super duper thugs. Like, I mean, so thugged out that they were, bordering goofy. We talk about the 50 Cent era. We talking about the Dipset era. You know what I mean? We talking about like the Hot Boys. We talking about, a time in hip hop coming off that Rough Rider era, but not quite. But, DMX was still hot. Dudes were like ultra macho, like, if you want to talk about toxic masculinity, then that's probably a time when that was a real thing, right? I remember Kanye was on Def Poetry Jam and with the polo on, and he did his little poem or whatever, and he had the Rockefeller chain, and everybody was thinking like, damn, who's this backpack dude who, Jay-Z and Dame signed? Like, what's up with this dude? I do remember that. I remember that Kanye was a breath of fresh air. For me, I used to be disappointed at Kanye's like lyrical skills, so I never fell in love with him the way everyone else did. But I'd be lying if I said the music didn't hit. The music was amazing, and he was working with Mos Def and Talib and Common. As a producer, Kanye West has produced some of my favorite music. And to be honest with you, one of my favorite albums, he did the B album by Common, and that album sticks with me to this day. It's a beautiful album. Kanye did that. I remember how he changed the sound of hip hop. Again, as I talk. And thank you for taking this journey with me, y'all, because this is just a frustration pod. As I talk, I see, I hear it, I get it. I get why this man was put on this pedestal. He dropped off that pedestal. If I ever put him on one, he dropped off that pedestal quick for me, because he quickly went from like college dropout Ye to like, super duper high fashion Ye, kind of like a cruddy personality Ye really quickly. Like, it didn't last. That era didn't last as long as you guys remember it. It didn't last long. He moved from that to like, dating Amber Rose, walking around with Hennessy bottles. And there's always this sort of like, gap. This like a gap between college dropout Ye and then like, 808s Ye. And we always kind of put it to the unfortunate passing of his mom. I'm not going to get into that because, again, breaking him down to me is a fool's errand. I can't break Kanye West down as a person. I don't know him. Again, from afar, he seemed like he has mental health issues, but he also seemed just a little stupid to me. But whatever, maybe he's not. I'm talking about his fans and the fan experience. You've been on a roller coaster with him musically. You've watched other artists be born from Kanye, right? The Cuddies of the world, the Kendricks of the world, the Drakes of the world. We're talking about superstars. We're talking about superstars. Artists that are like, all timers. Drake and Kendrick, all timers. And they are definitely inspired by the Kanye West movement. You don't get these artists if the game would have stayed a Dipset, G Unit, Little John in the East Side Boys game. I get it. So I can see why you believe that this person is a genius, because musically they are a genius, or was a genius, however you choose to look at it. But just because you got a great fashion sense, and just because you create a cool sneaker, a very comfortable sneaker, that sneaker's comfortable because Adidas technology in it, but whatever. Just because you make a comfortable sneaker does not mean you are a person who should be speaking on current events. Doesn't mean you have a good grasp of how the world works. Success doesn't mean that. Why do you lie to yourself and tell yourself that this man has the capability to be your leader? Let's go through it. Let's really unpack it. What has Kanye West done to earn the right for you to be your leader? What has he done? Throughout his career, what has he shown you to help you, to make you feel like he has leadership qualities? Someone that you're telling me I need to pay attention to and I need to really understand, because I'm not getting it, because he's just so genius that I can't figure out his evil plot. Kanye West has shown himself to be emotionally unstable, right? You can't talk to him too long without him tripping out. He yells at people. He flips off on people. He beefs with people. Kanye West has shown himself to be a person who is disloyal and willing to openly out people if he feels like he's upset with you. Adidas, Kim Kardashian, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Big Sean, whoever, Kid Cudi. If he's upset with you, he will out you. Kanye West has begged for the approval of people that he feels are more successful or just better than him, frankly. We've seen him on television literally crying for people to give him the opportunity. What kind of leader is that? Let's go back to the issue with Adidas and Gap, right? Here's another thing that people say. You got to understand, though, you got to support him, right? Because they doing him dirty. Them contracts is probably dirty, bro. That's the thing. Now, again, this is before White Lives Matter and, talking trash about Jewish people or whoever, right? This is before the Drink Champ interview and all that. This is just when he was just warring with Adidas and Gap, right? Everyone's on. I stand with Kanye, man. He shouldn't take his designs, man. Those contracts, this, that, and another. Maybe you forgot about Big Sean's beef with Kanye. Didn't Big Sean come out and say that Kanye hadn't paid him? Kanye owed him money. The contract was crap. A lot of those good music artists ain't rocking with him no more. Ain't nobody crying for Big Sean. But we'll cry for Kanye when the deal he entered, when he was supposed to be the leader on that. He's supposed to be the man. These are big business moves, dog. Oh, man, he's such a great businessman. What businessman cries about their business partners a few years after having a successful endeavor? because they won't give him anything. What kind of leader is that? Maybe, just maybe, Kanye is just a famous person that gets opportunities because he's famous. Doesn't matter if he's great at what he does or not. Maybe. Here's what I'm trying to get at, because I don't want to sit here and just talk. I'm not trying to just talk trash. I'm really not. I'm trying to understand and figure out without having a community conversation. Maybe this is one of those ones I should have just went live and tried it. Done like the old school Butler did it, way like I just go live and we could just talk. But unfortunately, we didn't do it like that. I'm in here by myself. Kanye's not your savior. To quote Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick's not your savior. Kanye's not your savior. I saw a beautiful documentary about Kendrick Lamar's discography and how they all are like, you can kind of see where he is as a person through each album, right? I won't break it all the way down, but it's 2 albums that stand out that I'll talk about, right? There's To Pimp a Butterfly, and then there's Mr. Morale. Love both these albums. This person pointed out that by the time To Pimp a Butterfly comes out, Kendrick Lamar is fully embracing the idea that his music matters, which I don't think he ever let go, but his music could shift the atmosphere, that it could create social change, that Kendrick Lamar could be part of changing the world, right? Once you get to Mr. Morale, and obviously the album Damn is in between. Once you get to Mr. Morale, you get to an artist that realizes that pressure is too much for me, the individual. That pressure will drive me crazy. There's 2 tracks on that album I love. Okay? It's when he's saying Kendrick's not your savior, right? Future's not your savior. All these people he named, and then there's the closing track, I Choose Me, I'm Sorry. To me, that's maturity. That's a person saying, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and pretend to be someone I ain't. But Kanye West never did that. Kanye West wanted to be your savior and wanted to be your leader, and you all gladly accepted it. I can't blame you. He's a person of means. He's a person that can, with a large platform. Sometimes he sounds like he's making sense when he's really never is. Okay? He was willing to take on the mantle of a king without the ideas and the guts and the heart to be one. So what does he do when things don't work out? He gets on a large platform and he cries, sometimes quite literally. Why can't I? Why won't you? Why won't y'all let me? Kanye West is not your savior. And the moment you let that go, that's the moment you stop bending yourself into a pretzel, trying to justify stupidity. What's going on with Kanye right now is not some larger social issue. He's not being canceled. If Kanye did a concert today, however, if he funded his own concert right now, if he did one of those, Sunday Jones he used to do or whatever, people that love him would show up. He may not be a billionaire anymore, but he's going to still be an extremely wealthy man. Kanye West going to be fine if he wants to be. Financially, he'll be fine. He'll make an album. People will buy it. He may not have Adidas and he may not be able to put on any of them sneakers anymore, but he'll figure out something to come out and Kanye stands or buy it up. He's not being canceled. He's just suffering the consequences of his actions. And also, let me say one more thing before I begin to wrap this up. Just because Jewish people didn't tolerate what Kanye had to say. And some black people did. Don't make Jewish people wrong. Kanye West wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Kanye West got on Drink Champs and said George Floyd died of fentanyl. That's just in the past month. Years ago, Kanye West told you that slavery was a choice. Years ago, Kanye West talked down on Harriet Tubman. Years ago, Kanye West sat in the White House in the Oval Office and shucked and jived for a racist president. Every time he did it, y'all needed to have a conversation about it instead of saying, we done with these Yeezys, we done with this music. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't have. I'm saying that you didn't. Do not get mad at another group of people for saying, well, we don't think the same. It don't make them better than us or worse than us. It just means it's different. He said what he said about Jewish people. He antagonized Jewish people. Jewish people within business said, I don't want to do business with you anymore. And yeah, that seemed to have motivated some of the black people that were doing business with him. And by the way, call me what you want. I have Jewish friends. I have Jewish colleagues. I don't think it's cool that Kanye West is antagonizing and talking down on Jewish people, just like I don't like that he's talking down on black people. That's me. Maybe you don't care. Fine. You got to ask yourself why you don't, though. Kanye West is not your savior. The quicker you figure that out, the quicker you accept that in your heart, the easier all of this will be. You want to rock Yeezys, you want to go on, you can't get them from Adidas anymore. If you want to go on the resale market and spend double, triple for them Jones, then do it. I'm not going to say nothing to you. I don't got time to tell you you can't wear a shoe or listen to some music. I really don't. And I would hope the next man don't either. But if you're sitting here trying to convince me that I'm wrong on this, you're foolish. If you're sitting here trying to convince me that Kanye West got some type of deeper plan and all this is part of the plan, you're wilding. I won't call you stupid. I'll say you're wilding out. You're not thinking. You're not thinking. You're saying that because you need Kanye to be something. Let me tell you, there's other black billionaires. There's other black thought leaders out there. There's other black educators. There's other black politicians. There's other black activists. There's plenty of people out there. There's other black celebrities out there. If you need someone to look up to, and that's a human trait, there's nothing wrong with that. If you need someone that to serve as a motivation for you, someone that to look up to, like I said, someone that you just kind of need is like the standard. There's so many other people. You don't have to lie to yourself about Kanye West. Kanye West was never it. And I believe deep down in his soul, he know it. That's why he act the way he do. Kanye West ain't your savior. Stop trying to make him that. Because that just makes you look bad. With all due respect. Well, thank you for tuning into a very angry version of the Butler Did It podcast. Sorry it's been so long. You know how it is with this podcast. I'm going to stop apologizing for it, man. Listen, the podcast version of this show will be up soon. It will be up probably a day or two after the actual like YouTube version. I'm gonna get the YouTube version up right away, but the podcast version, I still got to do a couple things to get the podcast up and jumping again, but it'll be up. Yeah, like I said earlier, I should say, man, I really wanted to come back with something a little happier, man. I had a plan on when to come back when Butler Did It. You know, as you all know, my beautiful wife is pregnant. We expected a baby girl. Y'all keep shooting prayers up for us, man. It's a journey. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. There's nothing going on wrong. I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous. It's my first time. You all probably don't know. My son Makai. Can't see his picture over there. That's my boy. That is my stepson, though. So this is my first journey. It's my first ride. In terms of pregnancy and everything. So sometimes I just get a little nervous, man. But I appreciate all the people sending me love and congratulations, and to me and my wife. It's a beautiful thing we're going through, man. So forgive me if I'm not able to do these often. I have I have a 9-to-5 job where I podcast for a living. I also have the What Are Those podcasts where I get paid to do that podcast as well. And I just landed some sponsorships that's going to take my attention. But I'm going to try to do the Butler Did It as much as I can. And I'm actually going to try to spruce it up a little bit. I got some other podcast projects I'm coming out with as well. So things are going well, man. So thank you so much. Thank you for, tolerating this one. This is one of my best episodes. Like I said, man, I was all over the place with this one. But I just, I felt compelled, and this is my art. You know what I mean? This is what I do. This is what I've been doing for more than half my life at this point, man. Some form of broadcasting. So I'm blessed to be able to do it. I'm blessed to have a spot where I can just come down and just share my thoughts. And I'm blessed to have, even if it's just one or two of you tune in and interested in what I may think about Mr. Kanye West, man. So follow me, MSR_Adam, MSR_Adam. Also follow me on the Butler Did It podcast at over on TikTok, man. And I also have a new email. I put it down there, but it's the What Are Those podcast. You can email me there as well, man. Thank you so much for always supporting, always being there. I love you all. Mind your mental health, y'all. Really, and honestly, I mean, do I need to explain why saying mind your mental health is vitally important to what we were talking about today, man? Mind your mental health. Honestly, I'm not just talking about Kanye. I'm talking about the fans of Kanye. Seriously, because he takes you through a lot. I'm not making fun. Kanye takes you through a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot to follow a narcissist, frankly. Okay? So mind your mental health, okay? Mind your physical health. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, as I always say on all of my platforms, because I mean it, please continue to be great. I love y'all, and I'll be back soon. Peace.